You are now tuned in to a space where the stars align with the soul, where Afro roots hold the blueprint and real life stories light the way. Welcome to Black Girl Edition. Hey, I'm Candice, your favorite podcaster, and thank you so much for tuning in with me today. We have a lot to talk about. Now, this is your first time here. I want you to like, subscribe, share, send to your friends. Put me in the chat, okay? Because, baby, the tea be piping hot. And that's exactly what we're going to get into. So, let's actually do that. So, today there is a topic that I want to discuss that has so much to be said about it. And, honey, I am talking about relationships. I am talking about love, okay? In every form, in every capacity, whether that is toxic love, whether that is healthy love, whether that is a love that needs to be released, a love that is never ending, okay? Whatever the case is, and whatever form it is, whether in love with something, someone, some idea, love is such a huge theme in our lives as human beings, and I think we just don't talk enough about it. So let's really talk about love and what that means and relationships. And so let's start off with a little story time because I love to tell you a story. So I actually ran into this gentleman. It was, just conversation that you end up having with a random stranger. And he told me about his particular situation. And this is actually what sparked me to do this episode, just because it was so enlightening. And I'm like, you know what? How many other people are in situations like this or fearful of them or tied into them or whatever the case may be, and let's just really discuss it, right? So anyway, this guy, he's talking with me, and he's told me like, hey, I've been with my lady for several years. I really love her, and um I'm just happy because she's in my life. And I'm like, God, this is great. Like he was a black guy and, was a little bit older, seemed to be pretty established. And I was so happy to hear about this love. And so I'm like, okay. I'm like, are you guys married? And he's like, no. I was like, oh, okay. You know, cool. How long you guys been together? Oh, we've been together for like 11 years. So I'm like, what? Because to me, that's shocking. And it's a reality, and the thing is, I told him, I was like, well, you know what? I completely salute you in the fact that you've been honest with her and you have told her that that's not the direction you want to go, but you love her. And I think this person's very committed to his lover. I think that he is very much so wanting this to be his person for the rest of his life, but at the end of the day, the moral of the story is that, you know what, honestly, it's just a piece of paper. Now, for those who know me, I am a Sag rising, okay? So there is something about that Jupiter energy that I always see the cup half full or the opposite side of things, and typically in an optimistic way. And so, well, like, if it's just a piece of paper, then what's the big deal? Go ahead and sign it, right? And so, leading deeper into the conversation, he says, well, honestly, something happened, I don't want to deal with like the legalities of all this and, them trying to take what I have and everything that I've earned and all that. And, those are absolutely reasonable thoughts. I think that anyone with a sound mind or being responsible should have, and I think that's okay. But then once you get to that point, where are you going next with it? And so it led to a deeper topic where it was like, I'm kind of just fearful of the commitment. I'm fearful of all these things. How do I know I really love this person? Like, how do I know if this is my person, I found the right one, or, I get tied down? And, there's always that theme of, where men, it seems like they get married and they married and they die. And I don't mean physically, but I mean like their life force is like getting sucked, dry, not by the woman, but more so responsibility and life and family and not as much as the things that they enjoy. And I think that that stigma has been on marriage and love for so long when it comes down to men. And it's time to just kind of break away from that. And when people realize we're in such a different time and things can be traditional and not at the same time. You can have a little bit of this mixed and tailored with a little bit of that, and the world is yours. So, anyway, to get back on topic, so I was like, man, Like I said, I really commend you that you at least have been open with her and you've been honest and you have really been sharing, like, this ain't it. I will give you a ring and I'll give you the world, but we're just not doing that paper stuff. And I said, hey, I commend you for at least being honest because some men alive just string a woman on knowing darn well they have no intent on doing anything further than this. I said, but if you really love her, God, why would you rob her? And yes, there are the cute Insta wives. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that their love and everything isn't true. What I'm saying is that there's the cutesy stuff that comes along with, like, oh, I show my ring, and my husband is this, and oh my God, it was so romantic, but all that stuff is cute. But the reality is, there's something so significant about when a man decides to say that, hey, I deem you to be the most valuable woman in my world. I'm putting this ring on your finger and I'm signing and I'm risking everything that I'm built, working on, processing, have not even discovered yet for you because I see your worth and I see your value and I am putting it all on you. And I want you to be that in my world. And sometimes men don't understand that very big but yet simple thing determines the level of respect, the listening, all the things that you desire and really want, or maybe that unlocking that door, because love requires a level of vulnerability. And so it's vulnerable for the man because he's opening up his assets, his everything, his manhood, maybe some of his traumas and wounds and things that he's like, ugh, society says you got to keep going. You don't have time for that, right? So all these things are opening up. And for the woman, it's trust, it's security, it's value, it's self-worth. All these things are tied and locked into these things. And when you both can say, hey, I'm open and I'm vulnerable, and this is scary, my darling, but I see you and I believe in my person, then don't rob each other of that next level. And so although I could go on and on about that story for a very long time because there's so many different layers and facets in that. But I say this to say that love is not easy. We know that. People have had broken love, good love, great love, toxic love, fleeting love, whatever it is. Love is hard. And I think that sometimes we get the perception that it is all just like whipped cream and strawberries on the beach with your lover, and it's not. It requires so much work and it is so hard. And there are so many tears, so many heartbreaks, so many moments of shocks and just disappointments at times. But the reason why people go through it and they endure it, and the reason why you still grasp for it, even though it just seems like you should never, is because when you get it and when you feel it, it is the most enlightening, enriching, absolutely amazing feeling that overtakes you. The sense of security in that moment, the sense of just this radiating energy that is beyond our world. My God, you can't get enough of it. And it is the best drug and the worst drug at the same time. And honestly, love has mm, love has its dualities. It's give and take. It comes with something. It's not for nothing. If you want love, then yes, you need the vulnerability. But love does come with heartache. If you think about it, how many people talk about like their wounds and trauma and stuff growing up? A lot of times, the people who you loved are the ones that hurt you the most. Randomly is a stranger, right? But it's the one you open up with and become vulnerable. But on the opposite end, think about the very great moments that you had or did not have. Why we kept opening and doing it. And I assure you, y'all, that there's just no greater feeling in the world. I do encourage you guys to keep going. If it's an old love that needs to be burned out and you know, like, hey, it has reached its course, do what you gotta do. And if it's one that you want to continually build on, because you're like, hey, wait a minute, this thing is dusty and jacked up, but I want to keep going. I want to see where that's at. Take your partner by the hand, kiss them on their face, on the lips, and y'all hold hands and encourage each other to keep going. You know, there's not too many things in this world that are free per se, right? But my God, the intangible, the amount of laughter and love and building and legacy and caring and healing that love has, the encompassing love, my God. So, you know, there's the other side of it too, you know, where it's so good and it's like a pin drop. Like, I'm afraid something's gonna happen because it's so good. Sometimes it does happen. And when that happens, it's encouragement to grow. And one thing that I'm learning is that, like, yes, hurdles and pitfalls are so ugly and they are terrifying and you don't want to go through them, but they do pose you to think differently, to either correct it, walk away from it, ignore it, work through it. So when they come about, it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, this ain't love and this ain't the person for me. Some of y'all be quitting stuff so quick. Maybe you just need to take a step and say, wait a minute, is this a hurdle? Is this a room for growth? Or is this to go the opposite direction? Right? And those are the things to be discussed and to be had because that's a part of love and you're building it. Oh, and to be able to do it together and to be in a bubble, it's amazing. I want everybody to get a taste of this because love will literally set you free. Like, oh my goodness, how cliche. But it's true. It can. And as lovers, it can set you free on so many different layers and levels where you start looking past just what you want. But you have so much love for this person that you're like, wait a minute, I've been insecure for so long, and my lover has been requesting or wanting to maybe try this, to do this, go here, go there, or simply have me wear this. And I've been too afraid to do it or too stuck in my ways, but love will make you change if you allow it. But you have to get vulnerable enough and you have to decide, do I want to keep opening that door? I would. Now, yeah, it hurts. You learn in love too, because there are some vultures out here. There are some people that don't mean you any good. There are some people that have all good intentions and horrible decisions. And they can be great people, just not great for you. Either way, what I'm saying is that think about those things. Like, don't deter away from the love. Don't just not commit because of this, but like deal with your shit. Is it trauma? Are you scared? Is this the right person? And it's not like these things don't cross your mind or we don't think about them. It's just we know that after you do that, well, you got to put action, right? Because now you just knowing it what? You just sitting on it? Absolutely not. But anyway, if you like this, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments. Let me know you feeling what I'm saying. And there will definitely be a part two. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope you have a very blessed and beautiful day. Love you all. Bye.